People say to me, you don't really think COVID-19 is that serious, Howie. Why did you get the tests? Why did you get the shots? Excuse me. Here's a headline on the internet right now. Pete Buttigieg, he's the new Secretary of Transportation, says DOT studying requiring COVID tests for domestic airline travel. COVID tests. So you know what the next step is going to be? It's going to be COVID shots for domestic airline travel.
Translation papers, please.
Jawohl. Jawohl. All right. 844-500-4242. Owners of Minneapolis restaurant destroyed in riots file lawsuit against city Mayor Fry. Good. Sounds like a good spot, Grace. The Town Talk Diner and Gastropub.
What, they had a problem with the Summer of Love?
Yeah, it was a peaceful. It was their gastropub and diner was destroyed in a mostly peaceful riot in the Twin Cities.
Howie, I wasn't going to repeat this story, but since you brought that up, did you hear the story I said today about the Sacramento mayor?
Yes.
He's a Democrat who's been mugged. He was very much in line with Black Lives Matter and their protests until his house was vandalized, and now he just doesn't think. He thinks this is anarchy, not protesting. My favorite,
though, is the Tampa mayor.
Yeah,
Jane
we got to
Castor.
talk about that.
Castor oil. Can we play these?
This first cut of her, Howie, saying that they're going to handle maskless Super Bowl celebrators is really scary.
And I'm proud to say that the majority of individuals that I saw out and about enjoying the festivities associated with the Super Bowl were complying. So I'm proud of our community, but those few bad actors will be identified.
Bad actors.
And the Tampa Police Department will handle it.
She sounds like Tugboat Annie, by the way.
Who is that?
Don't ask. Gravel. How about Gravel Gertie? I mean,
nope. I don't know who that is either. Taylor doesn't either. Howie, that's when you know it's really an old reference if Taylor doesn't know it.
Okay, you can Google Tugboat Annie and take a look at her and tell me if she doesn't sound like Jane Castor.
But the woman goes on to talk about personal responsibility.
Let's hear that too. Let's hear
This is cut 2.
There just has to be that level of personal responsibility. You can supply everyone with a mask, advise them of the science behind it, and expect that they are going to abide by the mask order.
It's kind of like you can lead a horse to water. That's what you're saying.
You could advise them of science, but if it's science fiction, which is what this is, it really doesn't matter all that much if you're not a fan of the genre, does it? But here's the key. The key is though, what is the key with the Jane Castor giving us a lecture on wearing masks?
There's a photo of her. Was she actually at the Super Bowl when the photo was taken?
I'm sure she was.
It looks like she was in a box.
That's what mayors do. They go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. And then they sometimes leave. Oh no, that was Mark Wahlberg who left because he thought the Patriots were going to lose. But she's in the box or wherever she is next to a guy with a mask on. And Howie, she not only doesn't have a mask on, but I don't even see one on her person. Doesn't look like she has one on her wrist or on her neck, or you know how sometimes people have it below the nose or above the nose so they can take a smoke.
Right, like the state cop who's in the jail in Rockingham County, New Hampshire.
Right, this lady, there's not a mask to be seen. She's freewheeling it. And now, meanwhile, she's talking about people being held responsible and the police handling people without masks on. And then all these other reporters that were tweeting. So excited when people were out celebrating. Remember, Mayor Lori Lightfoot said, we need relief. Like people need a way to have relief. All of these reporters are horrified at Florida. They keep saying Florida is going to kill us all. Like, don't worry about Florida killing you. Do you know the death rates in New York? Florida's 26th overall for deaths. New York is 2. So all these people
and now it turns out there's 15,000 people. They were saying there were 8,500 people dead in the nursing homes, old people. Now it's 15,000. They released those numbers, the state of New York, on Saturday afternoon.
Well, you know what Cuomo says about that.
They died. Who cares?
What difference at this point does it make?
Yes.
That's Hillary Clinton, but similar. Howie, do you want to play a little bit of this Ron DeSantis? Because I really think he's becoming the front runner for 2024.
I wish we had him saying, on audio that he didn't wear a mask because he had to drink a beer. But this is great stuff. The stuff that's on audio is great. Play what you like there, Grace.
Oh, but can I first say, Howie, about that? That in itself is a microaggression, because you will remember Brett Kavanaugh almost had his life ruined for enjoying beer. So I don't know who Ron DeSantis thinks he's impressing with that, but people are not going to be happy. Beer is the drink of white, credulous boomer rubes. I just want to say that for the record. This is Ron DeSantis talking about how other states didn't open, but Florida did. Cut 3.
Well, you look around the country and they still are debating whether schools should be open. We've had schools open the whole year. They talk about whether businesses should be open. Every business in Florida has a right to operate. They talk about all these people unemployed. In Florida, every single person has a right to earn a living.
And Howie, you know what I find amazing about Ron DeSantis is he opened everything up. A lot of times he kept things open. And everyone was saying, oh, we're going to need body bags in Florida. He has blood on his hands. And it would be very easy for the average person to get scared by that and say like, oh, I don't want to be responsible for this. But it takes a lot more courage to keep things open despite that and say, listen, this is how I feel and I'm going to take the risk. And when you think about Joe Biden right now, who's the president, he can't even say who he's betting on for the Super Bowl without getting scared, let alone opening up the schools. He's being bullied by the teachers union.
He's being bullied by everybody, but but he's got some big cheerleaders, and you know where the cheerleaders are? Russia, China, Iran. Oh, they are ecstatic
they
about
think
what's
he's
going
a righteous
on.
Dude. They really do.
Happy days are here again. Venezuela, Cuba.
Right. They said he was going to unify. They said the country, but he's unifying the world. Let's play more DeSantis. This is cut 4.
They have a partisan agenda. And I think it was an election year. They did not want the president to carry Florida. I think the fact that the president endorsed me when I ran for governor, means that they want to do that. So they had a narrative, and their narrative is whatever that helps them advance their political. It doesn't matter about the facts. They don't care about the facts. In fact, they will ignore facts that are inconvenient for their narrative and even concoct conspiracy theories.
And just to prove his point, Howie, I would like to play Joe Scarborough today, knowing that New York is number 2 in deaths and Florida is number 26. This is what Joe Scarborough said about Ron DeSantis.
Seriously? How hard has this been? I know that Ron DeSantis has been stumbling around over the past year or so and has had some real problems, especially as it's pertained to vaccines. But I don't think anybody would have expected him to foul it up as badly as he has.
No lie too big.
Oh, seriously. And Howie, before I go here, first I want to tell people that Grace's News is brought to you by Toyota of Portsmouth, the house of value. I don't know if people know this, but I went up to ski country this past weekend and the roads were very slippery, but I was so safe in my Toyota RAV4 XLE. It's a great car to handle the snow, but even more importantly, if you're interested in any kind of car, Toyota of Portsmouth has a huge, sparkling, clean showroom and an incredible staff. They will treat you like VIPs, tell them I sent you, whether you're talking to Brad or Jim or anyone there. They're all awesome. They're located just south of the Portsmouth, the traffic circle off 95. Go to toyotaofportsmouth.com or visit them at the showroom. And again, tell them Grace sent you. By the way, guys, I want to hit this story, Howie, because I didn't have much to say about it in my news, in my show earlier, but I think you might have something to say about it. Politico Sam Stein called out the White House for feeding People magazine a story on Axios reporter Alexi McCammond dating Deputy Press Secretary T.J. Ducklow. This girl has been reporting on the Biden administration, and she's dating T.J. Ducklow, and she's been dating him. Can you guess what month they're saying she started dating him?
I have no idea.
November. Axios has allowed one of its reporters to continue to write about Joe Biden after she disclosed in November that she is dating his transition spokesman and now White House press secretary.
He's in transition and she's dating him?
No, the transition.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Spokesman.
I misunderstood.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. Is his name is Duck Low?
Yeah, you remember him, how he was on Fox. He was one of the only Biden people to ever go on Fox, and he got absolutely destroyed.
You know, if I'm under attack, Grace, though, I always like to duck low as opposed to duck high. If you duck high, it's more likely they're going to hit you in the head.
Howie, very good. I really set that up for you, but that was very good. Yeah, so that's just another example of the press being the press. I mean, they're really just, they're so in the bag for Joe Biden. It's embarrassing. And now they're not going to dwell on the Democrats' violent rhetoric. They're just going to move on from it. I did want to play a little bit of Yamiche Alcindor defending Maxine Waters. This is cut 18.
But I think the thing that's going to be so obvious is going to be that there wasn't a storming of the Capitol after Maxine Waters or Senator Harris, then Senator Harris had fiery speeches. So I think that's all the things that we should be watching, how they juxtapose this at the scene of where this happened.
Is she on the defense team? These are the people who are supposed to be like the peanut gallery, and they're just out there defending wildly Maxine Waters.
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, Yamiche Alcindor, no relation to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, she's one of the most embarrassing people there is on, she's on National Panhandler Radio, right?
I believe she's, PBS.
Yeah.
Howie, by the way, I will be back at 4:30 for Grace's News. You have a ton of sound to get through today, but what did I say? Oh, I'm sorry. I will be back for Hate Mail Monday at 4:30. But I know you have a ton of sound to get to, so I'll let you get to it.
Yes, and we're going to have Jessica Vaughn from Center for Immigration Studies on to be discussing the latest open border disasters that are occurring here under the Biden administration. So much to get to here. 844-500-4242. Great news. The Gen 40 heater is back and just in time for the really cold temps. Oil prices are going to go up. The Keystone XL pipeline has been stopped. 35 million gallons of oil a day now headed towards the Biden's favorite country, China. Now there's a new moratorium on fracking on federal land. That means the price of natural gas is going through the roof. It was 10 degrees in parts of New England this past week. It's been snowing. It's snowing again today. You need to start planning, and that means you need the Gen 40 heater. Robert from the Cape says, the Gen 40 performs like no other heater I've ever used. It is remarkable. Taylor can confirm this, right, Taylor?
Sure. And unbeknownst to me, my family's been using the Eden Pure heater line for years, and the Gen 40 is just the latest in all of their applications of this science and technology, and it's so easy to use. You wouldn't think that there's anything high tech to it. It's so intuitive, but it's so simple, so portable. That's what I love about it. You can just move it from room to room. It's not heavy. It's not bulky. It's very easy to manipulate. And
I'm holding it up right now. I'm lifting it over and over again.
You set it and forget it, like a Ron Popeil infomercial. It's a wonderful product.
The Eden Pure Gen 40 makes you feel warmer than your furnace does. It also costs less to run. You may be working from home more now, and you will need to pay close attention to the heating bills. The Eden Pure Gen 40 will pay for itself in a matter of weeks. Go to EdenPure.com and put in code word Howie Deal to get $50 off the sale price. That's EdenPure.com and use code word Howie Deal for an extra $50 off. These heaters are in high demand, so go right now to EdenPure.com. I'm Howie Carr.
Howie Carr. You can trust him. He's not like the others.
This hour